pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call roll, please.
Ledine,
Here.
Rosak,
Here.
Crouch,
Here.
Carberry,
Here.
Mayor Lansford.
Here. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Oh, it is.
Okay. We need to have a motion to approve the agenda then. Motion?
Do you want to change?
No.
No, I don't think we need a motion.
Okay, thank you. All right, move to public comment. Anyone would like to address the council, please step forward, state your name at the podium. And I'll ask Cheryl if you'll take time, please.
This is Samantha Davis. I live at 1315 North Lawson Street. I've been complaining for years about the semis and the safety concerns. Gentleman addressed fixing my curbs, being that the parents park in the alley there on the corner of 1st of Lawson. We have 4 bus stops. Lucky Trucking sends their orders out, and these semis come from all over different companies. We can get about 16 trucks by 10 a.m. That road is not a truck route. We have 2 truck routes in the city. They are marked on the map specifically. I've asked Lucky several times to send to their outbound companies when picking up shipments to go ahead and put instructions on the truck routes. They said they are not able to do that. These semis, I have pictures of this morning, had during school hours, mind you, they pass North Lawn as the kids are going in and out. It is not safe. I've watched several of them knock down that sign that's been knocked down there in the middle of the street on Lawson, or on First. They had buses backed up. They run over the curbs onto the bus stops. They block traffic. We try to advise them as best we can where they can go. They can't go down Lawson going south because of the bridge. They can't go down First. And if they turn left, they're running over the curb. If they turn down Lawson going south, they're running up onto the bus stop as well. It's 2 bus stops that have rivets in the road over the curb where our children sit. If I am not out there for the kids in this city whose parents are working, who knows what's going to happen? Something bad is going to happen. And if we don't do something about it, it's going to get worse. A semi 2 weeks ago got hit by a train. The gentleman said that the lights were not on. I seen it. He sped past it. He was flying over those railroad tracks. And in my experience of living in that neighborhood for 24 years, children cross that street. He could come over those railroad tracks and a kid's going to be dead. It's out of control. I've had gentlemen stop and tell me to call the state police to deal with it. I've left messages with City Hall. You know, I get it. There's only so much that can be done. But when it's endangering our children and our community, there's a problem. It's tearing up our streets. It's been happening for 10 years. I've lived in that house. They completely,
That's 3 minutes.
Okay.
they completely ripped up and torn it apart on First Street.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
I have another one if I can.
No, you've got 3 minutes to make your statement. But if you will leave that information with the clerk, then we'll follow up with that. Anyone else like to address council?
Christine Stapleton. I was here at the last meeting with my husband Dan. We live at 110 East Bronson Street, and there is a problem in our alley. And I just wonder if I can ask what transpired. I mean, I brought it up last month, and I don't know what the protocol is, or how many complaints have to be made, or how often I need to show up. But the speeding in the alley going on, I would just like to see some signage, 15 miles an hour in the alley. People are going way faster than that. A woman has been hit. I mean, a vehicle was hit because she was trying to back out. It's very dangerous. And I don't know if maybe speed bumps can be put in. I don't know. But on another note, there is a shrub/bush at the end of the alley that you cannot see because traffic's coming on Bloomington, and it's coming south, and you're trying to look, and you cannot see this bush, even with the leaves off of it, and it's right there, and they did trim it, but trimming it doesn't work, because when you're in a car, if you're in a big truck, you can see over a bit. Most of us are in a car, and you just can't see. So I asked if it could be, somebody needs to go look at it. Even the cops say, well, that's dangerous trying to get out of there. So, something needs to be done. And so but I just wonder, can I ask questions and anybody answer me, or somebody just gets back with me, or what?
Jeremy's familiar with that situation. Are you familiar with that, Jeremy?
Yeah, so I'm sitting here, Jeremy, but, the sign used to be one way, until, I think, a year ago. The issue came up with the, police discovered that there was no ordinance to actually back that up. So I'll come out and maybe we need to, a sign we can definitely, I think, do, a speed limit sign, but I don't know if the council can elect to make it one way, maybe prevent some of that, but.
That'd be a really good idea, because most of the really fast traffic they come across Boyd Street. I mean, from Boyd Street over, and then,
So you just let it stop one way going to the car wash.
Yeah, and like this winter, it's gonna get really bad, because it ices over bad, and people will be flying right out in that street, so, in the park. So anyway,
David, thank you for the.
okay, all right, thank you.
Jeremy, you'll follow up with that.
I'll talk to Larry tomorrow even about the bush and see if we can't make that
Okay,
happen quickly.
and whatever the recommendation is that you come up with, and I don't think the council will have any trouble with it needs to be then turned back in one way or whatever it is for safety, and safety will do that. And they'll also follow up on this other lady's complaint. Anyone else? If not, then we'll move to new business. Item 1. Want to highlight that, Jeremy, before we...
Yeah. Item 1 is a public hearing regarding a proposed application to Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity for a community development block grant. The city last year, if the council remembers, put on hold or had to refund our revolving loan fund money that was established back in the 80s. We used a majority portion of that money for the Barlow Sewer Project, and there's roughly $156,000 left of that money on hold with the state. So this project along Spring Street will use that $156,000 leveraged by about $170,000 of the city's funds as part of the 5-year road plan that we talked about. But a public hearing is required to submit that application to see if there's any objections from the community or any thoughts. But the project will overlay and reconstruct Spring Street from Bloomington Street all the way to the, it'll be, I think it's the 500 block of Spring Street, basically the east end. There's the BNSF tracks. So the entire length of Spring Street will be reconstructed and overlaid by this project next year as part of the 5-year road plan. But after this public hearing, item 2 would be a resolution of support by the council. So barring any comments or anything, number 2, if you guys pass that, we'll submit the application and build the road next year. So.
Okay, this is the funds that if we don't use them, the state, we're going to take
The state
back
keeps
away
them,
from
yes.
us, right?
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to open a public hearing regarding the proposed federal funded community development block grant project for Spring Street Road project.
So moved, Your Honor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Clerk, call roll, please.
Vidae,
Hi.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Entertain any comments regarding the CDBG grant? Anyone? Either written comments or
We received no written comment.
verbal? We received over or written?
But I should have stated that we will accept written comments until December 1st.
Okay. Make that an open minutes. Any other comments anyone would like to make on that? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion by council? Clerk, call roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lance.
Aye. And item 2, I'd entertain a motion to authorize and support a resolution of commitment of local funds for a community development block grant for the Spring Street Road project.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion second. Any other discussion? Clerk, call roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Item 3. Jeremy, you want to hit this one?
Thank you. Following last month's committee of the whole meeting, the council requested a change to the, or amendment to what was presented in the 5-year road plan to include Court Street into the road plan in 2023. So that change has been made, and so it's back in front of you just for a motion for approval, and then we'll begin our planning and design work to make it happen. So Spring Street, we just talked about as part of next year's program.
I entertain a motion to authorize the city of Streeter's 5-year road plan.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? And we do look at this every year.
Yes.
So that we can change this. Clerk, call roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Item 4. Jeremy, this is you, baby, too.
You get tired of hearing from me. Thank you, Mayor. Number 4, this is council's aware, and everyone in the community, I think, Vector is undergoing a project down there. As a part of the city's component of that project, we're going to be constructing a new street through the industrial park, as well as overlaying a portion of Livingston Road from South Illinois Street to Smith Douglas Road. The city applied for grant funds to help with the construction of that project to the tune of $862,000, I believe. And we're lucky enough to get that based on Vector creating jobs. IDOT has a program. It's the Economic Development Program based on the number of jobs created. So the state is going to partner with us on 50-50 to help build that road. So this intergovernmental agreement will, if accepted, we can build the road next year.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to authorize a resolution to accept the execution of an intergovernmental agreement from the Illinois Department of Transportation for the construction of the industrial park and Livingston Road project.
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Joe? Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Item 5.
Thank you. Item 5 is the annual appropriation of MMT funds for the city's Public Works Department for the stone and oil and aggregates that they put down throughout the course of the year, as well as the salt. City salt is paid for the MMT. So we have to appropriate the money, and then that'll go to IDOT, and we can spend money next year.
I entertain a motion to authorize a resolution to appropriate $135,000 of MFT funds in connection with roadway maintenance projects for fiscal year 2020 for the maintenance of streets and highways by the city of Streator under provisions of the Illinois Highway Code.
So moved.
Second.
Ed, second. Any other discussion? Clerk, call roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Item 6.
Last week's Plan Commission, item 6, will receive and place on file the Plan Commission's recommendations. The first recommendation, 2019-14, was recommending a change in the city's zoning code to allow crematory uses in a C3 district pursuant to a special use. There'll be a further, the next recommendation, 2019-15, is to then allow a crematory at 404 North Bloomington Street, the former Keene gas station lot. 2 months ago, the Plan Commission met received a request from Schultz Monument to establish a crematory at 404 North Bloomington. Plan Commission decided to look at a revision to the code rather than a zoning change at that lot to industrial. So at last week's Plan Commission, the Commission recommended that crematories, modern crematories, be allowed in a C3 district, still pursuant to a special use. So that's the first 2 recommendations. The third recommendation, 2019-16, is recommending approval to a change in the fence regulations for corner lots. As you recall, back at last month's meeting, at your committee of the whole, you discussed it and referred it to Plan Commission. So this will allow up to a 6-foot fence on corner lots that meet certain requirements. So abutting an alley, 25 feet or more from the back of curb, and a couple of other requirements. So they recommended that change. And the last recommendation, 2019-17, was recommending a change to the plan for Gulf Road Villas. If you remember back in 2017, Wayne Fieldman, a developer, had put in a plan to develop some 55 and older homes along Gulf Road. That his original layout included a cul-de-sac that was never built. He's now wanting to replat the development to have 9 lots that front Gulf Road and start with building single-family units along Gulf Road first, and then leaving potential for building a road back into the development later. So, Plan Commission again recommended that. But item 6 will receive and replace all those on file, and then the following will approve them all.
Okay, thank you. I'd entertain a motion to place on file plan recommendations 2019-14, 2019-15, 2019-16, and 2019-17. Motion, please.
So moved.
No, second.
Third. Any other discussion? Clerk, call roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Item 7. Any more explanation on this one, Jeremy, or not?
This one will amend the city's zoning code to allow crematories in C3 districts, our general commercial district.
That's what the planning commission recommended.
Recommended unanimously, yes.
I'd entertain a motion to adopt an ordinance to amend the Streator Municipal Code Title 17 zoning to allow for a crematory in a C3 general zoning district and amend Title 17 zoning chapter 17.32.010 table of permissible uses and Appendix A of Chapter 17.32 to amend the current table of permissible uses, Class 15.00, Use 15.20 of the Streator Municipal Code. Have a motion, please.
So moved.
Is there a second? Ed, second. Joe made the motion. Any other discussion? Clerk, call roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Item 8. This is all continuation, right?
Yes.
Item 8 will grant a special use permit to Wilbert Bulb Schultz Monument for the 404 North Bloomington Street lot.
And that was also approved by the planning.
Yes.
Entertain a motion to adopt an ordinance approving and issuing a special use permit to Schultz Wilbert Volk petitioner to allow for the operation of a crematory at property commonly known as 404 North Bloomington Street, counties of LaSalle and Livingston, Streator, Illinois. Have a motion, please.
So moved, Your Honor.
Ed made a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Carberry made the second. Is there any other discussion?
With this one, I had two questions, and the first one was just, are we requiring a barrier between this property and the Broadway Street, the new park that we just built? Twister Hill Park, I could not think of it.
Our zoning code requires a buffer along that side as well as the side to the south.
To the south.
The other question then was just setback from the street, because I know there were some concerns with the high school traffic exiting and not wanting to interfere with that. So I don't know if you know anything detail-wise as far back as it's going to be from the sidewalk.
They have not submitted their actual site plan yet. That'll go, if required, it'll go back through the planning commission again, but this is just allowing the use. So they don't have to do all the design work and all those things for the site.
All right, so we'll bring that bridge when we get there.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know the petitioner though was in contact with the high school. They've had discussions and there didn't seem to be any issues. I'd entertain a motion to adopt an ordinance approving and issuing a special use permit.
We already have the
Did I
motion
already
on the
read
floor.
that, right?
We're ready to call the vote.
We're ready to call for the vote. Okay.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Number 9. Jeremy already mentioned this. This was the one with the fence provision, and we heard that presentation last month, I think it was.
Yeah, but then went to planning commission, they unanimously
Planning
recommended.
Commission, So to entertain a motion to adopt an ordinance amending the Streator Municipal Code Title 15, Building and Construction, Chapter 15.52, Fence Provisions.
So moved.
Tara made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Joe made the second. Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Okay, we've already heard this one from Jeremy. Entertain a motion to approve a resolution approving a revised development plan for Gulf Road Villas development located in the city of Streator. Have a motion, please.
So moved.
Ed made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Tara? Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Item 11, entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda with an amended fund warrant total of $902,665.55.
So.
Mr. Carberry.
Second.
Brian seconded. Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Lansford.
Aye. Item 12, city official comments. Tara, do you have
No, I just wanted to remind everyone of keeping Christmas close to home and light up Streator on November 30th. They'll have the parade, vendors lighting up the park, train display. The parade, from what I'm hearing, it has more entries than last year, so it's continuing to grow. But again, that's November 30th, and activities for the bigger majority of the day.
Yeah.
She said it all. I have nothing.
Okay. Brian? No? Joe?
I would just like to thank you for speaking on behalf of the trucks. I know that's becoming an issue in more than one place in Streator. I don't know how we would address that
I know that Jeremy is looking into it. It's a complex issue because it involves more than one street, more
It does.
than one area with the trucking, so.
And I think it's more outbound than inbound.
It's a mixture of both, and it relates to new GPS technology. It's routing them off the truck routes. Yeah.
So,
But there is the technology to have them on the truck routes, right?
There is.
We want to
we
continue.
definitely need to.
Yeah. Anything else, Joe?
No,
I'd just like to give a thanks to all the volunteers who helped make Streator a better community, and wish everybody happy and safe Thanksgiving. Have a motion for adjournment.
so moved.
Nope.
I just want to remind the city council, or Kyle,
and
maybe the whole meeting tomorrow on the budget,
Okay,
10.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. All right, Joe made the motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Brian seconded. Any discussion? Clerk, call roll, please.
Vidae,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Crouch, Scarberry,
Aye.
Mayor Longstreet.
Aye. Stand adjourned.